Chosen one, unlock your spirit and receive this right now. You know exactly how it feels, don't you? To be a ghost in a room full of people, to see that look in your family's eyes. Not hatred, but something far worse. Pity. They look at you and think your time has passed. They think God has developed amnesia concerning your name. But listen closely. That pity is actually the camouflage for the greatest shock of your life. You are not standing in the back because you are rejected. You are standing backstage because you are the main event. The teacher is always silent right before he hands out the graduation papers. The curtain is about to rise, and everyone who thought you were forgotten is about to realize you were just being hidden for the unveil. Let us zoom into that moment. You know the one I am talking about. It is that family gathering or that reunion with old friends you tried to avoid. You are standing there, holding a drink you do not even want, hoping no one notices you. But then, it happens. Someone walks up, smiles that polite, condescending smile, and asks the question you dread most. So, what are you doing these days? Is that business still going? Did you ever get that breakthrough you talked about? And in that split second, you feel it. A heat rising up your neck, a tightness in your chest, like an invisible hand squeezing your lungs. You want to disappear. You mumble a vague answer, something about things being good, or God is working, but inside you are screaming. You feel like a fraud. You feel like a failure. You feel like a public spectacle of delay. You wonder if they can see the shame radiating off you. This is not just a modern feeling. This is an ancient pain. In Psalm 31 verse 12, David describes this exact psychological state. He says, "I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel." Listen to that language. Forgotten as a dead man. That means people look at you and they do not even factor you into the equation anymore. To them, your potential is deceased. You are like a broken vessel, a clay pot that is cracked and useless, sitting in the corner while the shiny new vessels get all the attention. David was anointed to be king, yet he felt like human debris. If you have felt like that broken vessel recently, you are not crazy. You are in the company of kings. But before we go deeper into why this is happening, I need you to make a commitment to yourself right now. Do not leave this video halfway, because what you are experiencing is a specific spiritual protocol. If you leave now, you will leave with the diagnosis, but without the cure. But if you stay with me until the very last second of this message, I am going to hand you the guest list protocol. I am going to show you exactly how to behave at the table God is preparing in front of these very people who pitied you. We are going to cover the 7 specific forms of confrontation the enemy will try to launch when you get your breakthrough, and we will end with a sealing activation ceremony that will lock in your vindication. This is your roadmap out of the shadows. Do not click away. Now, back to that silence. It follows you home from the party, does it not? You get in your car, you close the door, and the silence is deafening. You drive home, you get into bed, but sleep does not come. You check your phone. It is 2 a.m. You check your email. Nothing. You check your bank account. No change. You check for a text, a sign, a signal that heaven remembers your address, but the screen is dark, and in that darkness, a terrifying thought creeps in. It whispers, maybe I missed it. Maybe I sinned and didn't know it. Maybe God is punishing me with silence. This is the cry of Isaiah 49, verse 14. Zion said, "The Lord has forsaken me, and my Lord has forgotten me." Notice who is speaking. Zion, the city of God, the place where God chose to dwell. Even Zion, the very center of God's affection, felt like an abandoned orphan. You are feeling this because you care. If you were not a chosen one, you would not care about the silence of God. You would just go live your life. The pain you feel is proof of the relationship you have. But here is where everything shifts. You have interpreted the silence as rejection. You have interpreted the lack of visibility as a lack of value. But you have been reading the signs backward. There is a massive difference between something that is forgotten in a junkyard and something that is hidden in a vault. One is left out because it is worthless. The other is locked away because it is priceless. You are not in a grave, chosen one. You are in a safe. And there is a shocking reason why God had to lock you in there, and a specific letter he wrote to explain it to you. I need to read that letter to you, because once you hear it, you will never look at a locked door the same way again. Think about the difference between a plastic lawn chair and a diamond necklace. If you walk past a house, you see the plastic chair sitting right there on the front lawn. It is visible, it is accessible. Anyone can walk up and sit on it. It is out in the open, exposed to the sun, the rain, and the bird droppings. It fades, it cracks, it is easily replaced because it is cheap. But you do not see the diamond necklace on the front lawn. You do not see it hanging on the mailbox. If you want to see the diamond, you have to be invited inside. You have to go past the security system. You have to wait for the owner to spin the dial on the heavy steel safe. The diamond is in the dark 99% of the time. It is locked away. It is hidden, not because it is trash, but because it is treasure. Chosen one, you have been crying out to God, asking why you are not on the front lawn like everyone else. You look at people with half your anointing, half your integrity, and half your depth getting the promotions, the relationships, and the recognition. You see them shining in the sun while you sit in the dark. And you think, God has forgotten me. But God is saying, no, I do not leave my diamonds on the front lawn. I do not leave my heavy glory exposed to the elements. I have not forgotten you. I have insulated you. The darkness you feel is not the dirt of a grave. It is the velvet lining of a divine safe. I want you to shift your focus inward for a moment. Notice that feeling of restriction you have been fighting. That sense that every time you try to move forward, you hit a wall. Every time you try to announce yourself, the sound dies in your throat. You have felt like you are suffocating. But right now, I want you to reframe that sensation. Imagine that the pressure you feel is not the weight of the world crushing you, but the thickness of a steel fortress surrounding you. That silence is not emptiness, it is soundproofing. You are in a high-security vault. Breathe into that space. Do not fight the walls. Lean against them. They are there to hold you together while you undergo a transformation that the world is not yet ready to see. This is not just a comforting metaphor. This is biblical law. In Psalm 31 verse 20, the scripture says, "You shall hide them in the secret of your presence from the pride of man. You shall keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues." Let us unpack that. The word used for hide is not about losing something. It is about concealing something for protection. And look at what he is hiding you from. The strife of tongues. That is the key. The strife of tongues, that is the gossip, the jealousy, the slander, and yes, even that pity we talked about earlier. God knows that if he released you prematurely, the jealousy of others would assassinate your character before your destiny had time to root. He knows that if you were on display right now, the specific enemies assigned to your bloodline would target you while you are still developing your armor. The silence is your shield. The invisibility is your cloak. By keeping you hidden, God is literally blinding the enemy to your location. They cannot attack what they cannot find. They think you are finished because they cannot see you on the radar, but you are just flying in stealth mode until the payload is ready to drop. Isaiah 49 verse 2 confirms this perfectly. It says, "He has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand he has hidden me, and made me a polished arrow. In his quiver he has hidden me." Notice the pattern. Hidden in the hand, hidden in the quiver. An arrow in a quiver is in total darkness. It is crowded. It feels like it is doing nothing. But while it is in the quiver, it is being kept straight. If it were left out, the humidity would warp the wood, and when it was finally shot, it would miss the mark. You feel like you are doing nothing right now. You feel like you are just sitting in the dark waiting. But you are being kept straight. God is ensuring that when He finally pulls you back and releases you, you will fly true. You will not warp under the pressure of success. You will not bend under the weight of the glory. So, the next time you feel the panic of being unseen, I want you to touch your own chest. Feel your heartbeat. That rhythm is the ticking of a time lock safe. You are not locked out of your destiny. You are locked in with your Creator. The world sees an empty stage. God sees a green room where the main character is getting into costume. The plastic chairs are fading in the sun. Chosen one, let them fade. You are being preserved. But I know that even in the safest vault, it gets lonely. I know that even when you understand the logic of the diamond, the heart still aches for connection. It is quiet in there. And sometimes, in the deep silence of that safe, the old fears come back. You worry that maybe the lock is jammed. You worry that maybe the banker lost the combination. But you are not alone in there. In the corner of this divine safe, there is a letter. It is written in handwriting you recognize but have not seen in a long time. God left it there specifically for this moment, for when the darkness felt a little too heavy, and He wants me to read it to you right now, because it explains exactly why this isolation had to take so long, and why it is about to end. Chosen one, I want you to imagine opening that letter we found in the safe. The paper is worn because God has been holding it close to His heart, waiting for you to be ready to hear it. This is what He is speaking over your spirit right now. He says, "My child, I know you think I am punishing you. I know you think I am angry because of that mistake you made 3 years ago. But you are looking at this through the eyes of an orphan, not a son or a daughter. I did not hide you to hurt you. I hid you because if I had put you on that stage when you asked for it, the wolves would have eaten you alive. I saw you that night in the bathroom, staring at yourself in the mirror with tears running down your face, asking why it had to be so hard. I saw you when you typed out that text message to your ex or to that toxic friend, desperate for connection, and then you deleted it. I was proud of you then. I am not deaf to your prayers. But I had to keep you in the quiver because your assignment is too big for a half-baked character. I am not raising you to be a flash in the pan. I am raising you to be a general. And generals are forged in the lonely dark, not in the spotlight. I love you too much to let your gift destroy you. Sit with that for a moment. Feel the weight of that love. It is protective. It is fierce. But I know that even as you hear this, there is a shadow lurking in the back of your mind. There is a dark, nagging thought that you are afraid to say out loud because it sounds ungrateful. But we have to address it. We have to shine a light on it. It is the fear of lost time. I hear your thoughts. They are raw and honest. You are thinking, God, I understand the protection, but look at the calendar. I am getting older. I see the gray hairs coming in. I see the wrinkles forming. My friends are buying their second homes, having their third child, reaching the peak of their careers, and I am still here, starting over from scratch. You feel like you have missed the bus, You feel like even if the blessing comes now, you are too exhausted to enjoy it. You feel like the best years of your life were eaten by the struggle. This is a valid pain. Do not suppress it. But you are measuring your life by Chronos time, which is the ticking of the clock on the wall. God operates in Kairos time, which is the appointed divine moment. And there is a specific spiritual law regarding time that you need to activate right now. It is found in Joel chapter 2, verse 25. You have heard it before, but you have never heard it like this. The verse says, "So I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the crawling locust, the consuming locust, and the chewing locust." Most people read the word restore and think it means getting back what you lost. Like, if you lost $10, God gives you $10 back. But the Hebrew word used here is shalom. And shalom does not just mean to give back. It means to make whole, to complete, and most importantly, to compensate. In legal terms, when you sue for damages, you do not just get the value of what was stolen. You get punitive damages. You get paid for the pain. You get paid for the delay. When God says He will shalom the years, He is saying, I am going to put so much blessing, so much acceleration, and so much joy into your next year that it will outweigh the pain of the last 10 years combined. It is the physics of the slingshot. The further back you are pulled, the more tension is created. You feel like you are moving backward while everyone else is walking forward. But the moment God releases His finger, you will fly past them in a millisecond. You will cover in 1 year what took them 20 years to build. That is not just poetry. That is the mechanics of restoration. Your delay was not a denial. It was a gathering of potential energy. So right now, I want you to perform a mental act with me. Do not move your body, just use your mind. I want you to visualize a clock, a heavy, old clock that represents all the time you think you have lost. It is ticking loudly, stressing you out. Now, in your mind, I want you to visualize yourself taking that clock off the wall. Feel the weight of it. And now, imagine handing that clock to God. Visualize His hands taking it from you. And the moment He touches it, the hands on the clock spin wildly and then disappear. He is taking control of your timeline. If you can see that in your spirit, if you are willing to let go of the anxiety of aging and delay, I want you to type a simple declaration in the comments. Type, I trust your timing. Type it as a signal that you are done watching the clock and you are ready to watch God move. Because here is the truth. God does not just want to pay you back for the time. He wants to clear your name. He knows that people have whispered about you. He knows they have mocked your waiting. And He is not just going to bless you in private where no one sees. He is planning a specific event, a public event. It is not enough for you to be blessed. You must be vindicated. God is about to initiate a protocol that will force the very people who pitied you to watch you eat. This event has a name, and it is the strategy that will change everything for you in the next season. This public event has a code name in the spirit, and it is the Psalm 23 protocol. Now, I know what you are thinking. You have heard Psalm 23 1,000 times. You have heard it at funerals. You have heard it in Sunday school. You think it is a soft, gentle song about green pastures and quiet waters. You think it is about comfort. But you are wrong. Psalm 23 is not a lullaby. It is a war chant. It is a declaration of supreme dominance in the middle of a conflict. And the climax of this war chant is found in verse 5, a verse that holds the secret to your entire situation right now. The scripture says, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Stop. Read that again in your spirit. In the presence of your enemies. Have you ever asked yourself why they are there? If God is so powerful, if He loves you so much, why didn't He kill the enemies before He set the table? Why didn't He remove the toxic boss, the lying ex, the jealous family members, and the mockers first, so you could eat in peace? Why did He invite them? Here is the twist that is going to shock you. The enemies are not crashing the party. They are the waiters. They are the audience. They are the necessary backdrop for your vindication. God kept them alive. He kept them in your circle, and He kept them watching you specifically for this moment. If He had removed them while you were in the valley, they would never see you on the mountain. And God is not satisfied with just blessing you. He demands that your blessing be witnessed by the very people who cursed you. We need to go deeper into the original language to understand the violence of this promise. The Hebrew word used for prepare in this verse is arak. It does not just mean to set a fork and a knife on a tablecloth. Arak is a military term. It means to arrange in a row, to put in order, or to draw up in battle formation. When the Bible says God is preparing a table, it is saying God is deploying a tactical formation. The table is not a buffet, it is a weapon. The food on that table is not just sustenance, it is ammunition. God is arranging your blessing in a specific battle formation right in front of the people who tried to destroy you. Imagine this scene with me. Visualize a long banquet table covered in the finest white linen. It is piled high with the things you have been praying for: the career breakthrough, the financial freedom, the restored reputation, the peace of mind, and you are sitting at the head of this table. But standing around the walls of the room, behind a velvet rope, are the people who pitied you. The ones who said you were too old, the ones who said you were crazy, the ones who betrayed you. They are not allowed to sit. They are not allowed to eat. They are forced to watch. They are forced to see that the very person they tried to bury is now being served by the King of Kings. This is the ultimate revenge of God. Human revenge is messy. You yell, you fight, you try to prove them wrong on social media. That is low level. Divine revenge is a table. It is you flourishing so massively that your enemies have no choice but to acknowledge that the hand of God is on you. This is why you cannot block them yet. This is why you cannot run away from them. They are currently being gathered for the show. Think about Mordecai in the Bible. Haman built a gallows to hang him. God could have just killed Haman in his sleep. That would have been easy. But God wanted the Psalm 23 protocol. He orchestrated a sleepless night for the king, which led to Haman the enemy being forced to lead Mordecai through the streets on a royal horse, shouting, "This is what is done for the man the king delights to honor." Can you imagine the look on Haman's face? That is the table. Haman had to announce the glory of the man he wanted to kill. Think about Joseph. His brothers threw him in a pit. God could have sent Joseph to a different country where he would never see them again. But the famine, the orchestration of God, forced those same brothers to bow down in front of Joseph in Egypt and beg him for bread. They had to eat from the hand of the one they betrayed. That is the table. Chosen one. The people who walked out on you. The people who fired you. The people who laughed at your dreams. They are currently being positioned by the Holy Spirit. They think they are winning because they see you in the pit, but they do not know that the pit is just the elevator to the palace. God is keeping them healthy and keeping them watching so that they do not miss the moment when the elevator doors open. So, the next time you see them, do not get angry. Do not let your blood pressure rise. Look at them with spiritual eyes and realize, you are just here to watch me eat. You are just here to verify my miracle. You are a prop in my testimony. This changes everything. It turns your anger into confidence. It turns your fear into anticipation. You are not a victim waiting to be crushed. You are a VIP waiting for the curtain to drop. But here is the danger. Here is the warning that most people miss. Being invited to the table is one thing. Knowing how to behave at the table is completely different. When the moment of vindication comes, when the shock hits, and you are sitting there with the blessing while your enemies are watching, your flesh will want to react. You will want to say, "I told you so." You will want to look at them and gloat. You will want to pull out your phone and post a caption to make them jealous. If you do that, you will be disqualified from the table immediately. There is a very specific spiritual etiquette for this moment. A code of conduct for the vindication dinner. One wrong word, one wrong look, one moment of arrogance, and the enemy can flip the table over. To keep the blessing, you must master the guest list protocol. This protocol consists of 3 non-negotiable rules. You need to write these on the tablet of your heart, because when the adrenaline of victory hits you, your natural instinct will be to violate all 3 of them. Rule number 1 is do not gloat. This is the hardest one. When you see the shock on their faces, when you see the people who fired you now asking for your help, or the ex who dumped you trying to slide back into your DMs, everything in your flesh will want to celebrate their humiliation. You will want to say, "I told you so." You will want to post a cryptic status update about karma. Do not do it. There is a terrifying spiritual law found in Proverbs 24, verses 17 and 18. It says, "Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him." Listen to that consequence. If you gloat, God stops dealing with them. Your arrogance interrupts the divine justice. When you mock your enemy, you step out of the spirit and into the flesh, and you lose your high ground. You become just like them. The moment you start enjoying their pain, the table disappears. Your vindication must be dignified. It must be silent. Let God be the judge. You just be the evidence. Rule number 2 is do not explain. When the blessing hits, your enemies will be confused. They will come to you fishing for information. They will ask, "How did you do this? Who helped you? I thought you were broke." They want you to explain the mechanism of your miracle so they can rationalize it away. They want you to say, "Oh, I just got lucky," or "My uncle helped me." They want to humanize your breakthrough to make themselves feel better. Do not cast your pearls before swine. You owe them no explanation. Kings do not explain their decrees to peasants. When you start over-explaining your blessing to people who do not have the capacity to understand your test, you dilute the power of the testimony. 1 Peter 2 verse 15 says, "For this is the will of God, that by doing good you may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men." Notice it says, doing good puts them to silence, not talking good. Your results are the explanation. When they ask how you did it, you look them in the eye and say 2 words, "God's grace." And then you close your mouth. Let them wonder. The mystery amplifies the glory. Rule number 3 is just eat. This brings us back to Psalm 23. It says, "You prepare a table before me." It does not say, "You prepare a debate podium." It does not say, "You prepare a lecture hall." It says a table. Your only job at a table is to eat. That means you focus entirely on the provision, not the spectators. Enjoy the blessing. Drive the car. Live in the house. Walk in the peace. When you focus on the food, it shows that you are so secure in your position that the presence of your enemies does not even disturb your appetite. That is the ultimate flex. to be so blessed that you do not even notice who is watching. Let me tell you a story about a chosen one who applied this protocol perfectly. I will not use his real name, but let us call him David. About 2 years ago, David was working in a corporate environment where his direct manager was determined to destroy him. This manager, let us call him Saul, stole credit for David's ideas, spread rumors about his competence, and blocked him from every promotion. David spent his lunch breaks praying in his car, crying out to God for justice. He felt forgotten. He felt like the ghost we talked about earlier. But then, the shift happened. The CEO of the company came down for a surprise visit and, through a series of God-ordained coincidences, ended up in a conversation with David. Within 48 hours, the entire structure of the department changed. David was not just promoted. He was given a newly created position that reported directly to the CEO. He was moved into a glass office that looked out over the entire floor. And here is the kicker. Saul, his old bully, now had to report to David. This was the table. God prepared it right in the presence of his enemy. Now, David could have fired Saul immediately. He could have made Saul's life miserable. He could have walked past Saul's desk every day and made sarcastic comments. That is what the flesh wanted to do. But David knew the guest list protocol. He applied rule number 1. He did not gloat. He treated Saul with absolute professionalism. He did not bring up the past. He did not smirk. He applied rule number 2. He did not explain. When Saul awkwardly asked how David got the CEO's attention, David didn't brag. He just said, "I'm just grateful for the opportunity to serve," and went back to work. He applied rule number 3. He just ate. He focused on doing his new job with excellence. He flourished. And do you know what happened? The pressure of David's kindness and the weight of David's success became so heavy on Saul that Saul could not take it. 3 months later, Saul resigned. He told a co-worker that he just couldn't stand being in that environment anymore. The presence of the Lord on David pushed the enemy out, and David never had to lift a finger. He didn't fight. He just ate. This is available to you, chosen one. But you need to practice it now, before the big break comes. You have a family gathering coming up, or a run-in with an old friend, or a text from an ex. That is your practice ground. I want you to visualize this right now. Create a mental image. You are sitting at a banquet table. Across from you is that person who doubted you. In front of you is a plate filled with your favorite meal. In this visualization, I want you to see yourself picking up a fork, taking a bite, and smiling. Not a smile of arrogance, but a smile of deep, satisfied peace. You do not speak to them. You do not look at them with anger. You just enjoy the meal. Feel the taste of the food. Feel the softness of the chair. Feel the security of the room. If you can hold that image, you are ready. You are ready to handle the weight of vindication. But I must warn you, the enemy is a legalist, but he is not stupid. When he realizes that his silence didn't break you, and when he realizes that you are not falling for the trap of gloating, he will not just sit there and watch you eat forever. He will switch tactics. He will move from passive observation to active sabotage. And because he cannot stop the blessing from coming to you, he will try to poison it once it arrives. There is a specific, cowardly form of confrontation that launches exactly 72 hours after your public victory. The moment you sit at the table and begin to eat, the atmosphere in the spirit realm shifts. The enemy realizes he can no longer block the blessing, so he changes his strategy. He switches from obstruction to contamination. He cannot stop the food from being served, so he tries to poison your appetite. He wants you to flip the table over yourself. And he does this through 3 specific forms of confrontation that will launch almost immediately after your breakthrough becomes public. You need to recognize them the second they appear. The first form is the spirit of jealousy. This is rarely loud. It is quiet. It is subtle. It looks like a friend who congratulates you, but their smile does not quite reach their eyes. It sounds like a backhanded compliment. They might say, "Must be nice to be God's favorite," or "I guess money changes people." You will feel a shift in the energy. The group chat that used to be active suddenly goes silent when you share your good news. When this happens, do not take it personally. James chapter 3 verse 16 gives us the spiritual mechanics of this attack. It says, "For where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil thing are there." Notice the progression. Envy opens the door to confusion. The enemy sends jealous people into your life to confuse you. He wants you to feel guilty for being blessed. He wants you to apologize for the favor of God. Do not do it. Their jealousy is not about you. It is about the light you are carrying, which exposes their stagnation. You cannot dim your light just to comfort their demons. The second form is much more violent. It is character assassination. This is the weapon of last resort. When the enemy realizes he cannot touch your destiny, he tries to destroy your reputation. He figures if he cannot stop you from being king, he will try to convince the people that you are a tyrant. I want you to prepare your body for this right now, because when it happens, it is going to feel like a physical blow. You will get a phone call or see a screenshot, and someone will tell you what is being said about you. A lie so twisted, so unfair, and so completely opposite to your heart that it knocks the wind out of you. You will feel your stomach drop. You will feel a heat rising in your chest and face. Your hands might start to shake. Your mind will race with 1,000 ways to defend yourself. You will want to call them out. You will want to post receipts. You will want to scream. That is not true. But in that moment of heat, you must activate the Nehemiah strategy. This is your counter move. In the Bible, Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. He was doing a great work. His enemies, Sanballat and Tobiah, realized they could not stop him physically, so they tried to distract him. They sent him a message saying, "Come down, let us meet together in the plains of Ono." They wanted a meeting. They wanted a discussion. They wanted him to clarify his intentions. But listen to Nehemiah's response in Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 3. He did not get angry. He did not write a press release. He sent messengers back saying, "I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and go down to you?" This is your mantra. Write it on your mirror. I cannot come down. When they lie about you, stay on the wall. When they gossip, stay on the wall. When they try to bait you into a debate, stay on the wall. You are too high up in the spirit to come down to the level of their dysfunction. The moment you stop building your destiny to address a rumor, you have given the enemy exactly what he wants: your attention. Your silence is not weakness, it is altitude. Let the wall you are building speak for you. The finished work is the only defense you need. The third form of confrontation is the bait of offense. The enemy knows your trigger points. He knows exactly what makes you tick. He will send someone to disrespect you in a way that feels specifically designed to hurt you. They will overlook you. They will forget to invite you. They will make a joke at your expense. This is a trap. Luke 17 verse 1 says, "It is impossible that no offenses should come." It is a guarantee. The bait will be thrown. But you have a choice whether or not to bite. The enemy wants you to get offended, because offense disconnects you from the flow of God's grace. When you are offended, you are replaying the past instead of seizing the future. So right now, I want you to perform a mental act to seal your defense. Close your eyes for just a second if it is safe, or just soften your gaze. Visualize yourself standing on top of a massive, high stone wall. You are wearing royal armor. Down below, far in the distance, you see tiny figures shouting and waving their arms. Those are the distractions. Those are the lies. Those are the offenses. Can you see how small they are from up there? Now, in your mind, turn your back on them and look at what is in front of you. It is your kingdom. It is your table. It is your future. Take a deep breath of that high-altitude air. You are untouchable as long as you stay on the wall. If you can see that, if you can feel the safety of that height, type "I am staying on the wall" in the comments. Let the enemy know you are not coming down for a conversation. Now, you have the armor, you have the guest list protocol, you have the Nehemiah defense, you are spiritually fortified. But there is one final piece of the puzzle that causes more anxiety than anything else. You know times what times is coming. You know times how times to handle it. But the question that keeps you up at night is, when? When will the shock happen? Why does God seem to wait until the very last second, until the deadline has passed, until the situation looks dead and buried? There is a specific reason for the delay. God operates on a timeline that looks like disaster to the human eye, but looks like a setup to the divine eye. The answer to your timing is found in a tomb that had been sealed for 4 days, and it involves a smell that everyone wanted to avoid, but Jesus walked right into. The answer is found in John chapter 11, verse 39. Jesus arrives at the tomb of his friend Lazarus, but he is 4 days late. Lazarus is not just sick, he is dead. He is wrapped in grave clothes. He is sealed behind a stone. And when Jesus asks them to roll away the stone, Martha, the practical sister, stops him. She says, "Lord, by this time there is a stench, for he has been dead 4 days." I want you to zoom into that location. Can you smell the air in that moment? It is the smell of finality. It is the smell of decay. It is the smell of a situation that has gone past the point of no return. Martha was saying, "Lord, do not open this up. It is embarrassing. It is messy. It is too late. Everyone has already gone home. The funeral is over." Chosen one. This is exactly where some of you are right now. You are looking at your finances, your marriage, or your dream, and you are saying, "Lord, it stinks. It is dead. If you had come a year ago, maybe we could have saved it. But now, it is humiliated. It is over." But here is the logic of the 11th hour. Jesus waited on purpose. If he had come when Lazarus was just sick, it would have been a healing. People would have said, "Oh, Lazarus has a strong immune system," or "the medicine worked." But by waiting until the body was decaying, Jesus removed every human explanation. When a dead man walks out of a tomb after 4 days, nobody says it was luck. Nobody says it was a coincidence. They have to say, "This is the finger of God." God waited until your situation got this bad so that when he shocks the world with your restoration, there will be no doubt who did it. The delay was not a denial. It was a setup for a miracle that defies the laws of nature. The stench is not a signal to walk away. It is the signal that the glory is about to hit. So, what do you do in this window of time? Between the smell of death and the voice of resurrection, there is a critical transition period. I call this the 3-day prep. You are likely in the final 72 hours before a major spiritual shift. This does not necessarily mean 3 literal calendar days, but it means you are in the final cycle. You cannot just sit there passively. You must prepare your spirit to handle the voltage of the shock. Your assignment for this phase involves 3 internal actions. First, you must perform a mental detox. You need to stop rehearsing the funeral. Right now, your mind is addicted to the worst-case scenario. You are planning for the bankruptcy. You are planning for the loneliness. You are writing the eulogy for your own destiny. Stop it. In John 11, Jesus commanded, "Take away the stone." You have to remove the stone of unbelief from the entrance of your mind. Every time a thought comes that says, "It is over," I want you to mentally visualize yourself rolling a heavy stone away from a dark cave to let the light in. Do not let the darkness settle. Second, you must engage in pre-forgiveness. This is crucial. When Lazarus came out, he was bound in grave clothes. Jesus said to the people standing around, "Loose him and let him go." The people who bound him were the ones who had to loose him. In your life, the people who wrote you off are going to be the ones who have to facilitate your next level. If you are holding on to bitterness against them, you are spiritually tying their hands. You need to forgive them now, before the breakthrough, so that when God uses them to bless you, your heart is clean enough to receive it. Visualize the faces of your enemies and say in your spirit, "I release you. I loose you so God can use you." Third, you must activate aggressive expectation. The signs of the pre-shock are already around you if you know where to look. One of the biggest signs is a sudden, unexplainable peace in the middle of chaos. Philippians 4 calls it the peace that passes all understanding. It makes no sense. Your world is falling apart, but you are sleeping like a baby. That is not denial. That is your spirit, sensing the resurrection before your eyes see it. Another sign is a sudden intensification of the attack. The enemy screams loudest right before he is evicted. If all hell has broken loose in the last few days, rejoice. The landlord is coming to clear the house. I want you to take a moment right now to center yourself. We are about to move into the most important part of this entire experience. We have diagnosed the pain. We have read the letter from the safe. We have set the table in front of your enemies. We have built the Nehemiah wall. We have prepared for the Lazarus shock. Everything is structurally in place. But in the courts of heaven, a verdict is not final until it is sealed. A decree is just a piece of paper until the king stamps it with his signet ring. We are about to step into the Supreme Court of the Spirit to officially register your vindication. This is not just a prayer, this is a legal transaction. I need you to gather all your faith, all your hope, and even your remaining doubts, and bring them into this moment. We are going to seal this word so that no devil in hell can reverse it. The king is on the bench. The gavel is raised. It is time to close this case. Wherever you are right now, whether you are lying in the dark, sitting in your car, or moving through the noise of your day, I want you to shift your internal posture. Do not move your physical body. Do not draw attention to yourself. But in your spirit, right now, I want you to stand up. Shake off the dust of the valley. Straighten your spine. Fix your crown. And visualize yourself walking through the heavy double doors into the center of the Supreme Court of Heaven. The proceedings are about to begin. The gallery is full of witnesses. The accuser is present, but the judge is your Father, and your presence is required for the final reading of the verdict. We are not here to beg. We are not here to negotiate. We are here to decree a thing so that it shall be established, according to the ancient laws of Job 22 verse 28. The evidence has been presented. Your tears have been bottled. Your waiting has been recorded. The silence you endured has been logged as time served. And now, the King is ready to issue the release order that will shake the foundations of your reality. Father, in the name that is above every name, the name of Yeshua, we come before you not as orphans begging for bread, but as heirs coming to claim our inheritance. I call forth the file of this chosen one. I acknowledge the years of the locust. I acknowledge the nights they felt like a ghost in their own home. I acknowledge the pain of the pity they endured from those who did not understand the weight of their call. We bring the cracked vessel, the broken clock, and the silent phone before you, and we lay them on the altar not as signs of defeat, but as evidence of their endurance. You saw them, Lord. You saw them when they refused to quit. You saw them when they chose integrity over shortcuts. You saw them when they blessed those who cursed them. And now, Lord, you are obligated by your own word to settle the account. I declare that the season of hiddenness is officially over. The incubation period is complete. The diamond is ready to leave the safe. I formally seal the Psalm 23 protocol over their life right now. I decree that the table is set. I command the spiritual atmosphere to align with this invitation. I bind the specific spirit of premature celebration that would cause them to lose their focus. I bind the urge to gloat. I bind the need for human validation. I release a supernatural grace of silence over their lips. When the enemies are gathered, give this chosen one the strength to just eat. Let their peace be so loud that it silences every tongue that has risen against them in judgment. Let the sight of their flourishing be the only revenge they ever seek. I seal the divine safe over their identity. I declare that they were never forgotten. They were protected. I break every lie of abandonment that has whispered to them in the night. I shatter the fear that they have missed their window. I declare that they are coming out of the quiver now, straight and polished, ready to fly into the bullseye of their destiny. The time in the dark was not wasted. It was structural reinforcement. They are not behind. They are being launched. I seal the Nehemiah wall around their mind. I rebuke the spirit of character assassination. I rebuke the spirit of jealousy. I rebuke the bait of offense that is being drafted in the dark right now. I declare that they are doing a great work and they cannot come down. No rumor, no lie, no slander, and no twisted narrative will be able to scale the wall of your fire around them. Let the arrows of the enemy turn back and strike the very ground they were shot from. Let every pit the enemy has dug for them become the grave for the enemy's own plans. I seal the Lazarus mechanics over their timeline. I speak to the 11th hour. I speak to the stench of the dead situation. I speak to the dead finances, the dead relationships, the dead dreams, and I say, come forth. We command the stone to be rolled away. We command the grave clothes to be loosed. We declare that the shock of their resurrection will be so sudden, so illogical, and so undeniable that even the skeptics will have to confess that this is the finger of God. Let the delay be the setup for the greatest display of your power this generation has seen. I decree a transfer of resources. I speak to the north, south, east, and west, and I command the wealth that has been laid up for the just to find its way to this chosen one. I command the contracts to be signed. I command the doors to open. I command the favor that breaks protocol to rest upon their head. Let them walk into rooms they did not qualify for and be seated in chairs they did not buy. Let the wealth of the wicked be transferred into their hands for the building of your kingdom. I decree a restoration of years. For every year of shame, give them double honor. For every night of tears, give them a lifetime of joy. For every moment they were invisible, give them a platform that shakes the nations. Let the pity of their family turn into the fear of the Lord. Let the mockery of their friends turn into the honor of a king. Let those who look down on them look up to see that you have lifted them out of the miry clay and set their feet upon a rock. Chosen one, receive this commissioning. I charge you now by the authority of heaven. Go back to your life, but do not go back as a victim. Go back as a general. Walk differently. Talk differently. When you see the plastic chairs on the front lawn fading in the sun, do not envy them. You know who you are. You are the diamond in the vault, and the banker has spun the dial. The door is opening. The light is flooding in. I declare that within the next 72 hours, you will see a sign. You will feel a shift. The atmosphere is clearing. The silence is breaking. The sound of abundance of rain is approaching. Do not look back. Do not come down. Do not explain. Just eat. The case is closed. The verdict is in your favor. The enemy is silenced. The table is ready. Take your seat. It is done. It is sealed. It is yours.